Divorce come from old age, right? The youngest marriage that I handled before is divorce after 3 months of marriage. Are divorce rate high in Singapore? First of all, I'm not a lawyer, so or most of my colleagues are property realtor. We work based on court order. From Statistics Department of Singapore, in the year of 2022 and 2023, divorce rate up by 0.2%. I can assume that through my own experience, every month I'm dealing with divorce case where client call me for assistance. How are they going to move on from here after their divorce pertaining to their property? Why do you think divorce rates are high in Singapore? Most of the cases that I handle is due to financial difficulties. Most of the couple, they fail to plan on their financial, like they spend more than they earn. There's many other reasons and some personal reasons also that lead to the divorce. Personally, when I handle divorce, not just the divorce on the younger age, across the ages. That means the 30 plus, the 50 plus. In fact, the oldest couple that I handle is above 70. What happened to a property during a divorce? Most of the court order will spell out the property to be sold in the open market. And some of the court order also will spell as the property to be transferred to either party. So as a realtor or agent, we have to work based on the court order. And we will assist our client to do a detailed calculation if this property will be sold open market. So what is the sales proceed likely to be each party? Most of the court order is 50-50, meaning to say the ex-husband will get 50% of the sales proceed, same go to the ex-wife. But the instant where the ex-wife gets 60 or even 70% of the sales proceed, this is due to the commitment that the wife taking care of the family, taking care of the children. So this kind of non-financial contribution also, the court will take into considerations for the deviation of the sales proceed. What happens if the couple have more than one home? Like they invested in private property or even they invested in commercial property. So again, it's up to the couple. Of course, their matrimonial home must be spelled out very clearly inside the court order to be sold or to be transferred. For their private home, if they feel they still want to keep it for their investment, they can have the choice to do that. My husband and I have recently decided to split way. However, our BTO hasn't hit the 5 years MOP yet. So how? This does not mean just for BTO flat. It also goes the same for resale flat. As we know, HDB flat, you must stay for 5 years. This is what we call MOP for 5 years. So what happened? The divorce on the 3rd year or maybe 4th year. There's 3 options here. Right? First option, if let's say the court order mentioned to sell in the open market, but you only stay for 3 years, you must write in and appeal to the branch office. For example, you stay in Sengkang, you must write into the Sengkang branch office to indicate that you want to sell the property or the flat before MOP. That's the first option. Second option, let's say you decide not to sell at this moment, although you have the court order. You only want to decide to sell after 5 years, after you settle all your financial, whatever your administration matter, whatever your personal matter with your ex, all these things, or things pertaining to your children. Again, you need to inform your branch office to ask for special approval to sell after the MOP. Third option, if let's say the court order mentioned transfer to either party, again, you need to deal with your branch office to do these transfer instruments. My spouse and I are going through a divorce. We co-owner of a flat, but I want to keep the flat. Is that possible? The answer is yes. A few things that you must take note. First, both parties must agree. Secondly, they must meet the financial capability. For example, the ex-husband want to take over the ex-wife's share, make sure they are eligible for all the loans. And thirdly, if this is HDB flat, they must meet with the HDB criteria in order to have the flat by sole owner. And lastly, make sure it must be spelled out very clearly that this flat will be transferred to the other party. My ex-wife and I have divorced and we are looking to sell our house. Is it okay to be upfront with our potential home buyers that we are selling the house because of our divorce? Actually, you don't have to. Because divorce is something personal, or none of the sellers are proud enough to sell I'm selling the house because I'm divorced. No, we don't do that, right? And as an agent, we will keep it as private and confidential. Most of the home buyer in Singapore, they usually will ask, why are the sellers selling? Yeah, this is quite common question. We can always mention that the seller is moving from point A to point B, or from east to west, or maybe from Tampines to Jurong, or this thing. This is very common, right? Unless the buyer really asking, is your seller selling because of divorce? Then of course we have to mention the truth. But through my experience, none of the buyer will ask lah. So as a seller, if you are divorced, you don't have to be afraid. If you need to sell the house, status will not be revealed to the home buyer. Most of the divorce, through my observation during my practice as a real estate agent, is due to financial difficulties, or they fail to plan properly on their finances. So my advice to you, plan well, know your partner before you commit on the property. Try to avoid selling the home due to divorce, because it can be very messy if it's happened. I hope my sharing can give you some clues. Thank you for watching my episode today. If you have any question, please drop in the comment. Please like and share this video.